So these are just random benefits I've put up here. I'm not saying that they're right or wrong. I'm not saying that you as a company have these. This is an example of some benefits that we have. No overtime. As long as you're in the maintenance club, there's no overtime associated with any of the repairs that you would ever have if you call me out. And that's weekends as well, so that's an important consideration. Lower operating costs. So if we go to the studies that are out there, and there are some basic studies. One of the original studies was the Louisiana Cooperative Study back in the 70s and 80s. And they studied the life cycle cost of equipment and operating costs if we just did regular maintenance. And basically, even though it's an older study, we knew that that saved 30%, up as much as 30%. It's not saying 30%, it's saying as much as 30%. If you had a dirty coil and a dirty blower and you cleaned that up and you got that machine cleaned up, you could get the system back operating, and so it could be as much as 30% decline. So I wouldn't quote that number, but I would quote the idea to the homeowner that a clean system, a clean coil, a system that's operating at peak efficiency is going to save you money because it's going to cost you less to operate it. It runs itself better. It's no different than you having dirty windows. You can't see out the windows. When you clean the windows, you can see through the windows. It's just a better efficiency. We're looking at a miles per gallon metaphor with our guys. So listen, when we tune your car up and we put your machine in a better position to run, your miles per gallon is going to improve. So obviously, we don't really know what that is until we get in there and take a look at it. But if we do regular maintenance, we'll keep it operating at peak efficiency. That's going to save you money, and it will probably more than offset the cost of the club agreement. Failures will drop. How do we know that? Well, we track that. We've been tracking that for a long time. So we know for sure that if we do regular maintenance, that does not mean that individual customer will not experience a failure. And that lies one of the issues that the client's like, well, you guys were just here and did the maintenance and the machine's broken. What are you doing? So you're going to get some of that. That's real life. That's service managers will tell you. We get that on a regular basis. If you have a big enough customer base, that's going to happen as a percentage. But we also know that we don't hear from the clients that didn't have a failure because it didn't occur. So what we can say is that our maintenance club customers represent a much lower percentage of our repairs in our crisis calls. And so that's the discussion we have with our men, is we've done the work, Mrs. Jones. We know for sure that our club customers just call us less for crisis repairs. It doesn't mean that you won't necessarily have a problem, because that can happen. It's a machine, it's a mechanical device. But what it does mean is that you will never pay overtime. You're always going to pay the lowest price. We'll have a lifetime guarantee on repairs. That's our unique selling proposition here. So that's another benefit. So we can communicate that to the homeowner and say, nobody likes to have a failure or a breakdown, but we're always going to put you in the front of the line. So, from the standpoint of being prioritized, we're going to put you in, first, or at least in the front of the queue for, no new customers are coming in front of you. And if we do have to experience a repair, if we do the repair, you won't pay overtime. You will always pay the lowest price that we have, and we will guarantee that repair for life at that point. So those conversations are designed to overcome the emotional conflict that the homeowner is having with the idea of giving you the extra, in our case, $169. It just doesn't feel good to give people extra money after I didn't want to give you the $650 in the first place.